Greetings, ladies and gentle players. Welcome back to another one of my RealBoard videos. And oh, do I got a doozy for you. As you've no doubt noticed probably in the title, and if not, in the upper left and lower left hand corners, you can see this might be an old game. Why? Because we are going over a Go Seigen game. And depending on the title, you probably know how this is going to end. But wait, give me a minute. This gets interesting. Because in this game, we are going to see and learn along with Go Seigen a lesson he had to learn the hard way. Game starts off as games often do, with one player taking the upper right-hand corner for themselves. Go Seigen nods at the 4-4 point and takes a 4-4 point for himself as well. Alrighty, what are we going to see next? None other than another 4-4 point. And lastly, the upper left-hand corner taking a 4-4 point there too. Now, obviously, if this was a modern game, we'd be seeing 3 3-offs, the like of which you've never seen, because these two 4-4 points, we've been invading them a lot lately, right? But no, instead we're going to go and hit the approach on the outside to potentially build, not doing the 3-3ing, because this game was played almost 70 years ago. White backs off high, and ooh, that in of itself is interesting, isn't it? Now, into the game, Black simply backs off, grabs a base, kind of also acts as potentially a bit of a framework, right? This stone here, a little bit of a framework off the 4-4. But in modern times, we would instead be poking at here, probably, and maybe if we weren't going to play that, we would go into the 3-3 instead, right? That would be a bit more, modern, because everyone's always rushing to take territory and contest things. 70 years ago, things were a bit more chill. Now, White follows up by approaching the outside in the upper right, because he can grow as well. Once more, we have the one space back off. It was a bit of a thing 70 years ago. Followed by, last but not least, the back off for White. So two potential people who are growing. Black approaches the upper left-hand corner because, well, we don't really want to give White, let's say, an enclosure here, right, to go with the extension. So, kind of basic opening theory. If you've got an enclosure, you block the extension. If you got an extension, block the enclosure. So, instead, he approaches on the outside. White has to make the decision, and he decides to pincer because he's going to be building. Black dies in the corner. That hasn't changed much. We're going to block towards our outside stone, and then forcing Black to connect back to his stone for a Joseki that you may have seen here and there. Now, admittedly, this Joseki has fallen out of fashion. As you can see here, everybody's alive. There's no really huge immediate follow-ups, and it is not really played professionally very often these days. Instead, you would see, I think, the descent here, right? I think the AI that's what they want. And then White goes ahead and gets more of a wall. Black has to push. White has to block. Black's going to go ahead and Hane here because it's free. And I think if I remember correctly, White'll probably Hane now as well here, right? And then congratulations, that's pretty much your Joseki. Black can go and play elsewhere right now. In my opinion, neither is superior or inferior meaningfully over the other. It's just kind of a thing of follow-ups, Now, that said, my preference is to go ahead and play this little move. I like the push-up, creating cutting points. It does a whole thing, like I said. One Joseki's not meaningfully better than the other. They're just, positions. So, right, we're back here. Each player has some building that they can do. Now the question is, where are we going to play next as black? Black does have Sente here. So if your next move was for black, where would you play? What do you think? Where are you playing that stone? Got any ideas? If you said to grow the right-hand side to continue your framework all along to the bottom, congratulations, that is a professional move, don't you know? AI dings it as a 0.7 or whatever, but do we care about that? Question now is, what's white gonna do? Know what you're thinking, right? Ooh, I know what you're thinking. I can sense it. You're thinking 3-3 now. Everybody's thinking 3-3 now. But back then, in my opinion, just looking through some of these older games from 70 freaking years ago, they just seemed a lot more chill. So yeah, you could do the 3-3 short, absolutely. But white decides to keep building. Good old Go Seigen, one of the strongest players in history, decides to keep building. Now, it's Gote, so black has to decide, okay, if you're building, what am I gonna do? I guess I can build, I can reduce, I'm gonna defend. Simple. They're both just building. Let's see what happens next. Well, white's gonna do a kit because it should be Sente, because black's investing on the bottom. We got the response, and now growth for white. Very, very simple so far. Now, if you know your continuation of the upper left-hand sequence, then the next little bit's probably going to be very, very understandable for you. We're going to go ahead and attach under here because it's Sente. White has to back off. White can absolutely not do anything other than back off. If they Hane, like here, then we simply get cut, like so. And then after we get cut, like maybe white Ataris. But then there's the over Atari. Yeah, right here, right? And then that's just bad. Black's broken in. You don't want that to happen, right? We're building stuff here. So very, very important for white to back off one, like so. Now we have one more forcing move, so black gets to go ahead and do a little push. White's gonna respond because the Hane there would really suck. And now black has Sente again. So where are we gonna play next? This one requires admitting your opponent is building stuff. I'm gonna probably do a little bit of an invasion now. You could play in the bottom right still, a little on the slow side. You kind of cede a lot of the middle board to your opponent. So now is the time for an invasion, and bam, this is where we're playing it. How can we get away with this? Well, it's simple. White blocks down because that's how we can get away with it. If we get to attach here, that makes living easy because like from this change you can make a little tiger mouth to go begin getting eyes there. You might even be able to do a Hane to go and live this way. Lot of Aji there. So Go Seigen says, nope, I'm dropping down. Boom, headshot. And up until this point right now, the game is still even, despite this. Now here is where we start finding the lesson that Go Seigen had to learn. Because he treats this position here a little bit weirdly. He decides to immediately go and attack. Not quite the right answer. Can you find the right answer? I'll give you a hint. No group typically lives all by itself. They usually influence the groups around themselves in order to try to live. Does that make sense? Essentially, nothing exists in a vacuum or something. I don't know how you want to think of it, but that's how you can think of it. So what white does is instantly hit this move. Going, right for the attack. Being aggressive. But AI is like, you should ask the other group what it's doing first. Because then you can get a nice undercut. Your opponent, who doesn't want to drop dead, will have to escape, which allows you to ignore him and keep asking questions about the left-hand group and whether or not it's alive or dead or not. Right? See how these are affecting each other? Black, who's still not alive, but white's wall is now strong, has to keep living. This gives white a whole bunch of forcing moves like here, I believe. Threatening to just cut through and kill. Black has to respond. And at that point, we can just go and take the little 1 stone. Again, has to respond. And despite all of this, black is still not completely alive in the middle of the board. So we're getting really good exchanges. We're picking up some extra stones. We still have an attack here. So despite what happens in the actual game, this was fine. Like, if he wants to play really, really aggressively, he can do so. Instead, he chooses to be very direct. And he stays very direct. Black's going to respond. And white's like, ooh, I'm just going to kill this right now because I'm so awesome, except I need to defend. So black gets to follow up. But it's okay. White's like, ooh, that's fine, that's fine. I'm going to keep attacking you. Another slight error. Black simply defends. But it's fine because white's going to be like, ooh, no, I'm going to, ooh, you're so dead. And unfortunately, this whole position is just a little bit awkward. You get to see black gets to push. We're going to have to block. A whole bunch of really weird things are happening here, right? Admittedly, there was a better option. If we take this back, and I would kind of mention this in basics, where he had the option here, or no, was it here? No, it was further back. Before this was answered. Yeah, here. Could just surround. And even the AI likes just surrounding. But yeah, if we just surround here, you can see all of this being built up, right? It's friggin' fantastic. Black's gonna live locally. It's probably still gonna have like damage to the upper left-hand corner. We're all fine. Instead, white really wants to attack and really wants to kill and not profit. Yes, Go freaking Seigen, when he was a 7-dan professional in this game. Too aggressive, too direct. And you can see how this is hurting him. I plan on going over another game where we can see how he's learned from this. But for now, we can just kind of see this lesson he had to learn the hard way. So he's going all in to try to kill, completely all in to try to kill. Black keeps coming out. He keeps going all in to try to kill. It's like, ooh, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. Unfortunately, he's forcing black against the wall that's not quite solid yet, right? Like, he's trying to connect, or trying to surround, but he can't hold it. He's playing what he wants to happen, not what the board is telling him can happen. Because this cut here is huge. This cut is absolutely insane. So how are you defending all of your stones involved in this cut and the cutting point at the same time? Right? It's freaking impossible. So he has to defend. But black doesn't have to play here. If he did, that would be fantastic. But since he doesn't, he gets to go and just kill this extra stone. It's like, yeah, you're trying to kill me, but you can't hold it. So I'm going to be fine. White says, no, you are not. I get to start killing things. And black says, no, you're not going to do that, actually. I'm just going to chill. Yeah, I'm still alive. This Hane is going to be Sente. Thank you. Oh, you don't want me connecting? Oh, but then there's a cutting point you're going to have to defend, aren't you? Oh, yeah, you are. And that gives me another move on the outside of the board, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm afraid it does. So we Atari the 1 stone. Now we're just sad. The group that we really wanted to surround, no shot. absolutely no shot. It's completely fine, and it's getting influenced. Look at this tiger mouth. Do you see what this tiger mouth is doing? Like, sure, we have a peep here, sorry, not a pope, from white, but after that, we get a little force move in the upper left-hand corner, because, you know, Sente first. Again, Sente first, starting to save the cutting stone. It's like, hey, mind if I kill? Okay, you do mind if I kill? Okay, that's gonna, well, all out of forcing moves. So we have to defend. Why do we have to defend? Did you see it? Because this move would be insane. This move right here. Look at what it does to the bottom. It just grows insanely through all of this stuff, right? So, pain. Black got out scot-free and threatened to expand onto the 9th line while doing so, because he had to go back and pay attention to his weaknesses. Now, with Sente, he just gets to go back and say, hey, how you doing? I'm sealing off my area. And oh, by the way, hope you don't mind, I'm taking all the points for myself. This is such an important lesson to be learning right now, because white has to deal with all of this potential growth. You don't want to do that because you know you're already behind. The upper left didn't go well for you. So now look what black gets to do. We just get to go ahead and be like, hey, I'm going to go into your corner. Because this isn't territory, I'm going to live here. There's nothing you can do about it. The right is huge. I have your corner. You can try to poke, like we see here. So we're going to go ahead and block that, like so. And then white's going to be like, oh, I need to try to kill you. But looky, looky, looky. Do you see this next move? Oh, it's a doozy. Oh, it's such a cutie. Black threatens a connection and a cutoff. White says, no, you can't live in the corner. So black says, do you mind if I just surround the entire upper left and kill it? I mean, now that you're cut off, right? You don't mind if I just kill you. Do you? Like, look at this group. How is it going to live? It's got 2 stones. That ain't enough. So white has to defend. Oof. The group that you tried to kill is now in the process of trying to murder you. So, here we go. Have to live for white. Which, as you know, from this shape, is going to go straight into a Ko. Because we're going to Atari, like here. And then we're going to take like so. And then goes into here. Follow up with another Atari on black. But that threatens to create a cutting point that we're instantly going to poke at as black. 1 attack, too forceful, not set up, has awkward shape. Look how it just keeps turning against you, because now these extra stones on the outside are threatening to get cut off. Can't allow that to happen or the entire bottom of the board falls. So thus the Ko has been created. All because of that 1 lost attack. So here we go to Ko. Find a Ko threat. Hey, just give me everything. And white's like, no. And back to Ko. Bump. And retake. So white has to find a Ko threat. Be like, hey, mind if I take this? And black's like, you know, I kind of don't mind at all. I'm just going to live on the left-hand side and kill your stones. White goes ahead and takes black stones. And black, knowing that this is a good result, and that, yeah, sure, white's alive up here, now has Sente to fix the outside. So now we're back to building the bottom quite nicely. You lived. Your bottom wasn't damaged in any way, shape, or form. White's like, I can't allow this to be unsettling me, so I have to live. Black gets a free Atari, like so. We're just going to go ahead and connect, not take, otherwise there's another Atari, potential Ko there. And then, oh, hey, Guess we get Sente again to just fix territory. White blocks. Black gets to just be like, alright, I'm just going to keep my points, because he knows he's doing great. Game doesn't really look like it's played from like one of the strongest Go players of all time, does it? I mean, look at this. White's got that, but Black's, oh man. Black's got all of that. So what the crap's White gonna do? White's got to invade. And Black, knowing exactly what's going on, is just like, yeah, you can't come down in here. So, okay, that means I guess we're just gonna go and live in the corner. Yay. Maybe. White's forced to connect back. So Black defends the corner. White defends from being dead. And has to play here again. Which means Black gets to chill now that he's surrounded and just connect the upper right here. Like so. White takes big move, eats the 3. Black's just like, I'm going to keep making my box. I'm on the 9th line. That's pretty impressive. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So White has to immediately invade. And Black's just like, yep, my territory's going to be mine. White's like, okay, I got to reduce this. I got to reduce this. Go friggin' Seigen, man. So we got the poke. It gets a response. And then another poke right over here. Not letting all the territory fall, so he defends their little right. Sure, there's a push and a cut, so we're going to push. And then Black's going to block. We now have the happy little cutting point. Gonna just defend. Free move for the Atari. Not gonna let the Atari go, so we're gonna save our stone. And then White gets to push in a bit, sure. Sure. A little bit of a push. And an Atari. And another Atari. Yeah, another Atari. And a connect. Followed by cutting point in need of a defense. So here we go with the defense. And lastly, defending the 4th line. So all the territory stayed Black's. White's like, I still need stuff. That's a little bit of an odd move because the ladder's weird. For now, Black goes to threaten to surround the upper right. Now, we would love to play here. But then the throw in here really, really hurts, right? Because after you connect, there's like maybe another Hane. Nope, not that. There we go. Another Hane here. And then White might just fall down dead. You don't want to fall down dead. That hurts. So instead of defending, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we're nice and alive. Take the vital point for ourselves, which Black is all over. Like so. White needs to make sure that he's alive. Black's going to keep squeezing, because now we're... Oh, not only are we attacking, we're getting extra points on the outside. Ooh, hurts. White tries to do a little bit of a reduction. Black blocks. White's like, can I reduce you a little bit more? And then Black's like, you're going to die. I'm going to kill you. Very rare in these kind of games because they have like long time settings. Really hard to drop dead in against pros with this much time to think. But sometimes it happens. Co-threat. And answer. Ooh, messy stone. And take. Co-threat, connect up. Am I allowed? Nope, not allowed. Okie dokie. So we're just going to go ahead and connect on up. And not going to be allowed to cut, so we're going to connect there. And then, last but not least, back to Co. and boop. It's like, okay, then maybe I take. And black's like, okay, maybe I take. Because now white has to take in Gote in the corner to not be dead, which allows more territory taken the outside. So Go Seigen just resigns. Resigns. Wins the game. Good job, black. It's just, this is just too much. This is just too much. We got the corner, we got the bottom, we got this left-hand stuff. We're about to end in Gote. That kind of sucks. The middle, we don't really know what's going on there right now. Like, there's a stone here that can come out. Like, there's the middle that's attacked. Ah, so awkward. So yeah, he resigns, just like that. So what lesson do we learn here from Go Seigen? If you want to attack things, just ramming your head into it when you don't have the shape to do so, despite it being very popular, let's say on Fox, bad freaking idea. Not even Go Seigen can play that kind of way and still have the game turn out well, right? It's just a no-go. If you pardon the pun. But it's okay, because he learned this lesson very, very well. And I'm going to go over another game where we see him learn this lesson, and it's going to be like watching a completely different player. So I hope you enjoyed this game, and I hope you're going to enjoy this next game as well.